Sophie, till late in the third quarter, you guys were struggling offensively in that frame. Second half in general didn't feel the same as the first half on that end. Did something change for you guys? What did you see as kind of leading to stalling on that end?
Yeah, I think we were just kind of slow. And every time that we're slow, especially defensively, it just somehow affects
How does a team collapse from a double-digit lead to complete chaos in just one night? The Indiana Fever managed to do exactly that, crumbling in embarrassing fashion against one of the league's weakest opponents. Coach Stephanie White pointed the finger at a stalled offense, but her players clearly saw things differently. Sophie Cunningham didn't hold back after the game, calling out what she saw as a team stripped of its fight, its identity, and its competitive edge. This wasn't just another bad loss, it was the direct fallout of one shocking coaching decision. A decision that not only cost them the win, but also exposed a growing rift between the players battling on the floor and the leadership making the calls from the sidelines.
Overhead is Cunningham with a steal. Cunningham feeds Sims, who goes coast to coast and lays it in.
So they had to make sure they had the right shot clock time as well while they were reviewing that.
So Indiana with a 10-point lead here, 6 minutes until halftime as Boston finds some space and knocks it down. Now Sims launches ahead for Mitchell. What a pass by Odyssey Sims.
It's up to the chat. Get excited. It's in the chat. Why at the same time? Because I'm you and you're me. We switch bodies. Zubbed in the chat!
For most of the first half, Indiana looked untouchable. They stormed out to a commanding 13-point lead, completely dictating the pace of the game. Aaliyah Boston was a dominant presence inside, forcing double teams and finishing with power every time she touched the ball. Kelsey Mitchell wasn't just putting up buckets, she was orchestrating the offense with precision, slicing through Washington's defense and creating opportunities for everyone around her. The ball zipped from player to player, the defense locked in, and the Fever carried themselves with the confidence of a team on a playoff mission. They had silenced the crowd and looked like the unquestioned superior squad. But underneath that early dominance, the cracks were forming, setting the stage for a meltdown that would erase it all in an instant.
Guys.
Here is the Buckeye product on the backdoor pass, but Mitchell lost the handle. Sutton thought about the three, steps in, Hull got a piece. Dolson has been wide open all possession, splashes home a three, and we are level at 47. It into Boston. Handoff Mitchell. Indiana has to hurry. Lob back for Boston. Boston finishes. It's a 2-point game, 5.9 seconds.
It all unraveled in an instant. Washington stormed back with a crushing 22-7 run that didn't just wipe away Indiana's cushion, it completely broke their spirit. What once looked like a confident, flowing offense suddenly turned flat and predictable. The defense that had been so sharp early on quickly became callous and undisciplined. Fouls piled up nonstop, handing the Mystics a staggering 26 trips to the free throw line. Every trip down the court seemed to end the same way, either a sloppy turnover or a late defensive rotation. This wasn't Washington putting on a clinic, this was Indiana putting on a clinic in self-destruction. And to make matters even more painful, it wasn't the Mystics veterans doing the damage, it was their rookies. Sonia Citron and Aaliyah Afanbanli played far beyond their years, combining for nearly 40 points while punishing every single mistake Indiana made. To have a young, inexperienced squad tear apart your lead piece by piece isn't just a tough loss, it's downright humiliating.
5 off the bench. Indiana has 8 first-quarter bench points. That's typically been a strength when they're playing well, as Iriafen just bullies her way inside. Now Citron being guarded by Lexi Hull. Hull goes over the screen, defends her really well. Citron just has to fire it up, and a circus.
You can't fault the players on the floor for this one, they left everything they had out there. Aaliyah Boston battled in the paint with dominance, dropping 20 points and grabbing 9 boards, showing she wasn't backing down from anyone. Kelsey Mitchell fought through relentless defensive pressure, still managing 14 points and nearly reaching a double-double with 9 assists. And Sophie Cunningham? She was the heartbeat of the team, chipping in 8 points, 6 assists, and 3 steals, while bringing the type of fire and hustle that doesn't always get recorded on a stat sheet but keeps the team alive. Their fight, their energy, their resilience, it should have been enough to pull out a win. But it wasn't. And the reason has less to do with the players who gave everything on the floor, and everything to do with the star who never stepped off the bench.
Looking, finds Mitchell, launches a corner three, it won't go, rebound Aiksler, and this young Washington Mystics group who continues to impress throughout this season, and Sidney Johnson in his first year comes up with a big win on the road.
On their ball screen coverages right now.
There's Mitchell on the handoff, bounce pass, Boston one bounce and a left-handed finish. Here's Boston, the offensive rebound, flips inside to Howard who lays it in.
You go step up screen, flare on the weak side. They had to make sure they had the right shot clock time as well while they were reviewing that.
So Indiana with a 10-point lead here, 6 minutes until halftime as Boston finds some space and knocks it.
When the offense stalled out, it became painfully predictable, possession after possession ending with Kelsey Mitchell trying to force her way into a packed paint. But there was a clear answer Indiana ignored all night. That answer was Christy Wallace, the team's most reliable sniper from deep, knocking down over 42% of her looks from three. In a game starved for spacing and desperately needing someone to stretch the floor, Wallace was the perfect solution. Her shooting threat alone would have pulled Washington's defense out of the lane, giving Mitchell clean driving lanes and freeing up Aaliyah Boston to dominate inside. Instead, Wallace never touched the floor. She sat glued to the bench while the Fever's offense collapsed, possession after possession. It was the single most puzzling choice of the night, and the blame falls squarely on the coaching staff.